We're going to talk about why some of the rotator cuff exercises might not be the best ones today. And we're going to also explain why these would be suboptimal rotator cuff exercises. So here's an exercise we commonly see at the gym. You pick up a couple of dumbbells, hold them in front of you, externally rotate the shoulder, and then return, and then repeat again. Here's a look from the side. So the problem with this exercise isn't that it's risky, but more like it's a useless exercise in terms of rotator cuff development, because the direction of resistance plays a key role in muscular development. And here, the resistance is straight down, basically loading your biceps and forcing it to work statically. There's nothing opposing to the movement of the rotator cuff, to the rotation of the arm. So I would say skip this. It's a useless exercise. Don't do it. Here's an exercise for the external rotator cuffs. Basically, you lay on your side, pick up a dumbbell, you externally rotate the shoulder and then let it come down and repeat. Here's a look from the back. You can clearly see the infraspinatus moving around the shoulder blade to rotate the arm. And here's a look from the top. So in terms of loading, this definitely loads the external rotators, infraspinatus and teres minor. The problem with this exercise is that it's late phase loaded, which means the resistance increases towards the end of the exercise when the muscle fibers are shortening. And this is exactly what we don't want. We want an early phase loaded exercise, because what happens is when your arm is down, angle between your forearm and a dumbbell where the resistance is small, as the forearm moves up, as the arm rotates externally, this angle increases, becomes more perpendicular with the resistance, generating more torque around the joint. But what happens is the rotator cuff fibers shorten as you externally rotate your arm, and they can generate less force. So there's a mismatch between the resistance curve and the muscle's force generating capacity. So it's a good exercise, but it's not ideal because it doesn't match the muscle's natural force curve. This is an exercise for the internal rotator cuff. There's not enough resistance at the beginning of the exercise and too much at the end, since the cable becomes perpendicular with the forearm. So there's a mismatch between the resistance curve and the muscle's natural strength curve. So this is not the most productive way to work the subscapularis. We see this exercise pretty often at the gym as well. What happens is when you abduct the shoulder or open your arms to your sides as high as it can go and force it to externally rotate and then internally rotate again, the distance between the acromion process and the humeral head gets very tight. And there's a lot of structures that go through there, like the bicep tendon and your rotator cuff tendons. So you're forcing these structures to work at a very small, tight space, creating impingement risk. So this is a definite no-go, very risky exercise, and there's much more productive ways to strengthen your external rotators. As a general rule, forcing the joints to work at their end ranges is not a very smart practice. All joints are designed to move and operate within a certain range of motion, and forcing that joint to stay at the end range and load it, make it so that it cannot go any further, opens up a lot of issues in the long term, such as impingement, inflammation, tendonitis, and many other issues. And also, people have physiological differences, one of them being acromion types. Some of them are flat, some of them are curved, some of them are hook-shaped. Dr. Moon's video explains these really well. So I recommend that using the joints, doesn't matter what joint it is, in its most natural range of motion should be the basis. So instead of these quite risky and less productive exercises, you can check out these exercises in our rotator cuff series, which will give a much more productive and a safe exercise profile. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.